Who's going to be first today, Joe?
How you doing?
Who's going to be first? I'm thinking it's Rev.
Alfred Cruz.
Alfred Clues? I say Rev. We'll see.
How you doing, Rap?
We shall see. Hi, Rap.
How is everything?
How's everything, Rap? Look who it is.
Weather is good, Rap.
Hold on a second here. What? Clara's first today.
How you doing?
Clara, you just won yourself an iPad from old Jordan Joe.
He's gonna send you a watch.
Joe's going to send you a watch. Wait, I am or you are?
You.
Oh, I am.
You're the CEO of...
I'm the CEO of the Boogie Bob Show. What's your position, Joe? If I'm the CEO, what are you?
The Undertaker.
Joe's the Undertaker.
You give me all
Hi,
the
Colleen.
dead to pray for them.
Hi, Paul.
That's all you give me. Pray for this, pray for that.
Well, you're the guy who prays. Pray for this and pray for that, Joe.
Yeah.
Pray for Clara.
Yeah.
Pray that Clara gets that iPad you promised
How
her.
you doing, Clara? How is everything?
Hi, Alfred Hinkle. Not to be confused with Alfred Clues. We got two Alfreds in here.
How you doing?
One,
Alfred Cruz,
two.
both of
You got two of them. What's poppin', everybody? It's your old pal Boogie Bob, along with
Have a nice weekend, my friends.
it's your old pal Boogie Bob. I'm here with
Trader Joe.
Trader Joe. I'm here with Trader Joe. Rob H is in the house. Hi, Rob. Hi, Nyan. Nyan, you got to come back and do the show.
Ryan, where have you been?
Nyan, where you been? Joe's pissed off at you. Colleen, where you been? Joe's pissed off at you too. Clara, Joe's pissed off at you, and Paul Greenwell. Joe.
Hello, Imran, where are you?
Where's Imran? Imran has not been in the chat for 4 years, and Joe doesn't forget it because he bought Joe a coffee.
He might be in Ukraine, that guy.
He bought Joe a coffee in April of 1987, and Joe still asks about him. Hi, Brooklyn. Brooklyn born. I found out Brooklyn born was born in Queens. I don't know what that's about. Hi, Bevan Cutler.
Oh, my friend, I live alone.
Well, Ambrose is here, so Ambrose will be able to catch Joe Lyon today.
I'm rest. How you doing?
Okay, I need by a show of hands. Who saw the video I posted last night? I'm engaged to be married. The Pam Anderson thing did not work out. So I'm now engaged to Angel Reese, Joe. Angel Reese.
How you doing, Angel?
Hi, Angel. She is the college basketball champion for LSU. I think she was the MVP. Joe, she's 6'6". 6'6", towers over me. Oh, she was so stunning. And Flage, I'm actually engaged twice last night. Mighty Bull, I just sent you a bull I found in the bull hunt. I'm back in the bull hunt. And Valerie says it was a great video. Thank you, Valerie. Joe, I had Martha Stewart on my show last night.
How was it?
Well, she's 81 years old. She's on the cover of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition. You know, I don't know why we don't have 10 million followers. There's no other YouTuber that was there last night. Piece of crap. Bunch of pieces of crap. I was there, Joe. I brought you Martha Stewart. I was hanging out with Rob Gronkowski, Super Bowl champion. I think he's two. Has he got 2 rings or 3? Rob Gronkowski, Martha Stewart. Then I had Neve. Neve is the host of Catfish. He actually took my number and I got his. Neve is the host of Catfish on MTV for like 20 seasons. Phenomenal, good, compassionate, loving, kind person. I was hanging out with so many fine-ass women. I gotta be honest, Joe, I was the most handsome guy there, and I got numbers. I got 4 numbers, all from guys. I don't know what happened.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Joe's thanking you for me getting numbers from guys.
Thank you, DJ Khaled. He's gonna send me a car.
Joe is still trying to get DJ Khaled to sponsor him. Anyways, if you didn't get a chance to see it, make sure you check out the video I posted last night. It is Martha Stewart, Boogie Bob, Hard Rock Cafe. There was nobody else on YouTube in there. There was nobody. And it was
I was
brilliant.
with Anthony Quinn yesterday.
Joe was with Anthony Quinn, even though Anthony Quinn died 12 years ago. Joe, speaking of dying 12 years ago, this is horrible. I don't ever diss anybody. Ageism, I hate racism, sexism, homophobia, and ageism. But this is horrible, Joe. Look at this. Dianne Feinstein was a woman who broke the glass ceiling. I believe she was the mayor of San Francisco, a senator, a politician for her whole life. She's been missing from Congress for 3 months. And she turned up, and now they say she cannot even remember her own name. Guys, you gotta retire at some point. She's 89. 89. I think 89. You've been in there a long time. This is, again, I'm not trying to be ageist.
She could be the mother of Biden.
Well, she could be Biden's mom. Well, he's 82 or 3, so I don't know. Maybe she'd be a 7-year-old mom. But Dianne Feinstein, first of all, this is post, so they're going to rip her apart because she's a Democrat. But that's fine. But I actually agree with them there. Hey, man.
Hey,
what's happening?
Thank you.
Say hello to...
How you feeling?
Man, it's been a long
How you
time.
feeling?
I'm feeling good. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm good. We're doing our newscast, so if I ignore you, don't get mad.
No, I'm getting ready to go anywhere. I just wanted to say hello.
I was doing this piece on Dianne Feinstein, bro. 89.
She doesn't know what she is.
Yeah, I don't think you should be in Congress. I don't know that you can really pull the trigger on things and get things going. Just say hi to everybody.
No, I can't.
Come on, bro.
I'm
Say
shy.
hi. Say hi.
I don't want to do
You showed up down here.
I'm on the news?
You were, but you
Okay, I'll
weren't
say hi.
because you're doing this.
I'll say hi.
Say hi. Ain't no cops in here.
I'd like to say hello to everybody.
What's your name?
Will.
That's Will. That's Will. Will came by because he's a big Jordan and Joe fan.
Hi, Rosa. Hi, Steven. I'll see you guys soon.
We're giving shout outs. That's what we're doing on the show now. We're giving shout outs.
Thanks, man.
Good to see you, Will. God
Appreciate
bless you,
that, man.
Playboy. All right. Is that your friend, Joe?
No, check out with
Super
you.
nice, super nice. I met him a couple times here.
Okay, no problem.
Give a shout out
I'm
to
not
Rosa.
a racist.
What's that got to do with
He
racism?
is a poor guy. You're
He's not a
welcome.
poor guy. He's a great guy. Anyways, Dianne Feinstein, bro, is trying to hang it up. I believe maybe it's a well-known fact that your cognitive faculties diminish after a certain time. That's why a lot of older drivers are wrecking. By the way, I love old folks. I'm an old folk. But I believe that at some point, like if I walked into the Navy recruiter today and said I want to be in the Navy, they'd laugh at me and say, get out of here. I can't, physically I can't do what these guys do. Even Muhammad Ali at the age of 39 lost all his mojo. So Senator 89 can't even remember she was in the hospital. But again, it's of course the Post is going to rip her apart. But I do agree on this particular thing that maybe at 89 she should hang it up. She should hang it up. Guys, does anybody have Miley Cyrus's phone number? Because I need to talk to her immediately. Now I'm engaged, Joe. One of the most famous women on the planet last night. I think sometimes you guys will see the video and you're not aware that I have a conversation with these people first. I can't just walk up with a camera and put it in their face. That's not how it works. But I'm going to show you a couple videos that I think you might like. Give me 1 second here, folks. Give me 1 second. Okay, this, whoops, is my new fiance. It's a little dark in here. I don't think you'll be able to see it back there. Hold on a second. I think I have a lighter version here. Joe don't care. Joe doesn't care. But
How you doing, Mrs.?
how you doing, Amethyst? Who the hell's Amethyst, Joe?
You said your friend. Yeah.
Well, she's not my girlfriend, Joe. She's my fiance. And ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Here she is. Guys, this is Angel Reese. Hi, with Angel Reese. I asked her to marry me. She said no. Was it a no? Was it a hard no?
Yes, a no for now.
First of all, congratulations on all your success. There's so many people who love you for a reason. You're amazing. God bless you. I hope you have the best time ever. Thank you so much. Guys, it's Angel Reese. Oh my God. If you want to see a better video, lightened up because it's so dark in there, make sure you watch the video on my channel, Joe. Me officially getting engaged, kind of, to Angel Reese. Man, she's a fine ass woman. Look at this, Joe. An ancient 2,000-year-old Israeli receipt unearthed. That's like a Dead Sea Scroll right there, Joe. That's like a tablet. Back then, if you bought a loaf of bread and you wanted a receipt, they'd take a chisel on a rock. Here's your receipt. This deal was literally set in stone. He should be fired for that. Israeli archaeologists discovered a 2,000-year-old receipt carved into a chalk stone slab during an excavation in Jerusalem. That's where Joe was born. Joe, you were born in Jerusalem, yes? Or Bethlehem? Joe, are you on the show today? I don't even know. I mean, should I not even talk
Why
to you?
you're looking at this picture, a woman picture?
There's no woman. I'm down here, bro.
With the stone now. All right.
I'm not doing it. No, I don't care what Joe was born. I'm not doing it.
Next.
Nope. Don't care what Joe was born. I tried to get some banter in there. Joe's just like, oh, fuck you guys. All right. Let's see what else we got, Joe. I'm not doing anything about Joe today. Nothing.
This is the one who
No.
died, you told me?
This is it, Joe.
Okay.
There it is. Pale male. He was on my show eating a pigeon. Excuse me, he was eating a squirrel. It was really violent and graphic, but you know, there ain't no Burger King in the bird world, Joe. They gotta eat.
They eat.
Farewell, pale male. The bird extraordinaire, Joe.
They eat rat, mice,
Yep.
anything.
Anything they can get their hands on.
Anything they can- when they get
He was
hungry.
Big Apple's first bold-faced bird. I don't even know what that means. Pale male, a celebrated red-tailed hawk who made his nest on the facade of a ritzy Upper East Side apartment building, ushering in a widespread appreciation for urban wildlife. Guys, this is he made his home. There's the nest. You can see the nest. He made his home.
Somebody was feeding him at the top of the...
Well, he was eating. You don't need to feed him. He just
Maybe
go and
from
grab
the
rats.
window that
Maybe.
those tenants were feeding him.
Joe, you want a historic Hebrew Bible? You got 38 million historic. A historic Hebrew Bible, $38 million. The oldest, most complete Hebrew Bible, described as one of the most important and singular texts in human history, has become the most valuable manuscript ever sold at auction. The Codex Sassoon is more than 1,000 years old, dating back from the late 9th or early 10th century. It sold for $38.1 million at Sotheby's. It was bought by a lawyer. That's a rich-ass lawyer, Joe. $38 million to spend on a book. Of course, he's not spending it just to collect it. It's worth.
Because he resell it for
He'll
50
resell
million.
it. Next, he's going to sell it for $50 million.
Yeah. It's a business.
All right, Joe. I hate racist. This lady, in my opinion, allegedly, gotta do that so you don't get sued, is a racist. Joe, this is a city bike. You know the city bikes. They're parked all over here.
Bike,
You walk up, you reserve it on your app. You got your card. You're a member of the city bike. You reserve it. You go get your bike. if you don't return your bike, they're going to charge you $1,500 to your card. So you want to rent the bike. I think it's 30 bucks a day, whatever it is. You want to return that bike. You don't have to return it to the same spot because there's city bike locations all over the city, thousands of them. Well, this young African-American kid gets on a bike. This lady runs up, grabs it from him, starts screaming at him, "Help, help!" He said, "Ma'am, I've already reserved." He was very nice. "Ma'am, I reserved this bike.
He rented.
I rented it. I paid already. It's my bike." She's like, "Give me that bike!"
Eh?
She's an entitled white woman who decided this young black kid is not worth the shit under her shoe. So she started yelling at him, screaming at him, cursing at him, trying to get authorities involved, screaming help. Because you know what happens when cops come and a white woman is screaming help? A lot of times that black child gets murdered or shot or killed by the cops. This woman is playing games with people's lives. Hey, girls. Well, it went viral. Her lawyer is saying she took the bike out first. He's the one that had it. He's the one that had it on his app. And she was pregnant. She kept saying, "You're touching my fetus." She grabbed his phone. She's grabbing his bike. There's two sides to every story. Dr. Phil says every episode, a pancake has two sides. Even a pancake has two sides, Joe. A coin has a heads or tails. So I haven't heard her side of the story till today, but it's her lawyer. Her lawyer says she took it out first. A pregnant Bellevue hospital worker seen fighting with a black man as a child over a city bike has the receipts to prove it, says her lawyer.
She had the receipt.
Well, her lawyer says that. O.J. Simpson's lawyer said he was innocent.
Whoever has the first receipt is the...
That's correct. I don't believe anything the
We
lawyer
don't
said.
know what's going on.
We don't know. We don't know.
Let the court find out. I'm not...
Let the courts find out.
Yeah.
Joe, we've got a huge Ukrainian, they're gearing up for a counter. It's been a year and a half, Joe. How horrible is this? A year and a half. By the way, guys, when I leave here, I'm going to Hard Rock to drop off this backpack I bought for one of my employees of the month. Brother's coming to work carrying all his stuff in a paper bag. So where's your backpack? Oh, someone stole it. So I went on Amazon. I got him the nicest black backpack they have.
How much was it?
38 bucks, something like that, 35 bucks. And he needs a backpack, Joe.
You go to Chinatown, you get it for 19.
I know, but I got it sent right to my door, and I got him one that I really like. And it's legit. Comes inside this little...
Show Ambrose.
Show Ambrose. Ambrose does not want to see some kid's backpack.
All right.
This is this kid.
This is about Harry.
So I was there. I looked for her all night, but there were so many. That's Megan Fox. They say she was there. It says right there. That's Hard Rock. I see Hard Rock right there. I did not see her there. I saw a lot of girls that looked like her. I actually went online to Google her tattoos because there was one girl I was sure was her. I was going to say, "Are you Megan Fox?" But I'm glad I didn't because she did not have her tattoos. Megan Fox is sheer delight Thursday night at the Hard Rock in Times Square. I got everybody on that video, but I did not get Megan Fox. For the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue release party, amid rumors that she had split with Machine Gun Kelly. I had my shot, Joe. I blew it. I was too busy hobnobbing with my fiance to try to get engaged to her too. I don't know what I was doing. This is the guy who choked the guy to death, Joe. His last name is Penny. He can have a defense tactic all he wants. Of course, he's already raised over $1 million to fight charges that he killed this young man by choking him to death for 15 minutes. We'll have to see how that plays out. The man who helped him choke the man to death has now been identified and will be arrested soon as well. Investigators appear to have identified one of the other two men seen on video helping ex-Marine Daniel Penny restrain and choke Jordan Neely. All you need on a jury is one person to have reasonable doubt, and you're not guilty. You're acquitted. And it's pretty easy in this town to have, you ask 12 people, one person on that train is going to be petrified. They'll be murdered next. Lost boy's body found in river, Joe. A boy who had been missing. The body of one of the two boys who went missing last weekend was pulled out of the Harlem River.
I was with you.
I'm going to get to that right now. 13 years young. Pulled out of the Harlem River. Garrett Warren, 13 years old, of Harlem, and Alpha Berry, 11, from the Bronx, were last seen together between Friday afternoon and Saturday morning. Authorities have recovered the body floating in the river near the Manhattan side of Madison Avenue Bridge on Thursday morning. Cops believe it is the older child due to the shoes found on the body. After a couple hours in that damn water, Joe, they bloat, and even their family can't recognize them, so they usually go with the clothing. The shoes seem to have identified him as the older kid. We're taking it hard, said Garrett's cousins, who confirmed Thursday the body is that of his kin. The boys, we haven't found him yet. The boys were last seen on surveillance footage at Lenox Avenue around 6 p.m. The NYPD has been scouring the Harlem River for days looking for these young men, and they found one.
The current in that river is very, very hard. So don't swim if you don't know how to swim.
Stay out of that water, absolutely. Hey Joe, where's your hat?
The hat is here, but I
Took it
need
off.
a little fresh air. My friends, they never saw my head.
Yeah, you look good.
Look, my head is...
You look handsome.
Yeah, it looks like a watermelon.
You look like an Arabic Ed Asner.
Yeah. Yes.
Ed Asner.
Yeah.
Let's see. The rent's too damn high. How do people afford to live in this city, Joe? If I lost my apartment, I'd be living in Central Park.
Your salary is less than your rent.
That's facts.
That's fact.
Most people have to have some kind of assistance from the government, or a really horrible apartment, or they get a couple roommates. Skies high rent hammering New York City. Tenants hit record-breaking levels. The average Manhattan apartment in April was $4,200 for the average apartment. Mine is $1,600, and that's because I've been there 30 years. As soon as I move, they're going to be charging $3,000. They want me to die. My landlord sees me, he hopes I fall down the steps. Poison wife pleads guilty. Or did she plead guilty? Yeah, she pleaded guilty. Not guilty. She pleaded not guilty. A California dermatologist, her name was Yu. I covered this on the show a couple times, Joe. Yu. Not you. Her name's Yu. Pleaded not guilty to charges that she tried to poison her husband after she was caught on camera pouring Drano into his tea.
That's the worst thing.
Don't you take a sip of tea and go, that tastes like Drano?
That can make holes in your stomach.
Rip holes right through you, Joe. You're right. The mother of two appeared before an Orange County, California judge for a brief hearing on Thursday. She fed his ass some Drano. By the way, guys, do not forget, link in the description. If you haven't seen my video, this is my favorite phone case. You just pull it out like here. You lean it up against stuff. You lean it this way. You lean it that way. I was watching videos on my phone last night. Very, very cool. You want to watch Instagram? Boom. Pull it out. You want to watch YouTube? Boom. Pull it out. $15, Joe. I like it so much I ordered the white one. Again, Megan Fox. Wow. We're going to keep it moving. Before Joe yells at me again. We're going to keep it moving. Evicted vet, stripper, fallout, whole irate, I don't care. Ron DeSantis will announce that he's running for president next week. He will get crushed by Donald Trump. I actually prefer Trump over DeSantis. Can't believe I said that. I prefer Charlie Manson over both of them. But he will get crushed. He's not ready for Donald
He will
Trump.
take me as a partner. He will win.
Okay. Well, Disney, who DeSantis has done everything he can because they're supportive of gay workers and they're woke. He despises gay folks. I don't care what anybody says. That's facts. And he has gay folks. If you don't think there's gay folks working on his campaign, there's probably 30 gay folks sitting at this table. There's at least one gay folk sitting at this table. So I think everyone should be included. I don't care what politics, what side of the line you're on. Gay people are here to stay. Gay people are watching this show right now. Anyways, DeSantis 24 president call coming next week. Maybe he'll say I'm not going to run. He's a governor, got all the power in the world. But to run against Trump, he's going to have a very, very hard time. And then he will lose to Biden. Lose no cakewalk either. Paralyzed graduate walks, Joe. A paralyzed graduate walks. A Virginia college student who was paralyzed after being shot in the neck was able to walk to receive his diploma. Thanks to a wearable robotic exoskeleton. You get this robotic metal skeleton, Joe, and you can walk now. That's amazing.
They put chips in,
you get chips?
Yeah, under your skin.
Under your skin. Khalil Warson, 25, got a standing ovation as he walked at Reynolds Community College Monday to receive his degree. Video from the Sheltering Arms Institute, which lent him the device, captured the moment he stepped up out of his wheelchair. Can you imagine, Joe?
Let me see it.
Well, there's no picture.
You don't have a video?
You see a video? It's a newspaper. It's ain't a damn iPad. I'll try to get the video for you tomorrow, Joe. Hacker. 18-year-old hacker, Joe. When I was 18, I was playing with Barbie dolls. Whoops. Did I say that out loud? Let me rewind that. When I was 18, I was playing basketball. This hacker, 18 years old, stole $600,000. What do you think he spent the money on, Joe?
From
Video games,
game.
bicycles. Well, he's 18, maybe a car.
He spent them?
We're going to find out. I haven't read the story, but I know what 18-year-old boys do.
What
I'm pretty sure he was in his bedroom whacking off a lot. Sorry. A Wisconsin teenager bragged, fraud is fun. Well, first of all, he's a moron. If you're going to commit fraud, don't tell anybody. Don't brag that it's fun. He probably put it on his Facebook. Sorry, guys, I can't come to the phone right now. I'm committing fraud. Before allegedly hacking user accounts on a sports betting website and helping him and others steal $600,000, wow, Joe. It's a nice little chump change. I would love to have it. Ain't no chump about it. Joseph Garrison, 18. Joe, what would you do with it?
That's not me, Joseph.
That's not you. No, it's not. He's not 18. He looks 18. He's not 18. Joe, what would you do with $600,000?
Well, I buy a house and,
I like that. Not in New York.
in the countryside.
In Poconos.
Well, and I will have I play some sport like basketball. I'd like to have basketball, but not too high. You know, 2
Joe,
meters is enough for me.
if you win $600,000, can I have $40?
I'll give you I give you 4,000, but just let me know how you do it.
I'll do it. I'll do it. You guys heard it here. Joe gets $600,000. I get $4,000. Anyway, Joe, this guy, Joseph Garrison, not you, is accused of swiping the login information from 60,000 people in a cyber attack. And then he was selling the data, allowing others to steal money.
Come in.
Huh? Yep, that's my man. Guys, the big muscle-bound guy is walking by the table right now. But Joe always makes it look like I'm stalking the guy. And the last thing I want to do is have a problem with this big-ass brother right here. That's my man. What's up, Playboy? Dude, he is...
now he became your friend.
Yeah, he's my friend. He's my friend. I don't know his name.
Next time, the next is going to be on the dead of you.
I'll tell you what. If he gets out of line...
Then you know what he's going to say to me. Tell me, get out of here. And he will sit in my place.
He could make... Yeah, Joe's really be out of here. My new co-host. He can make Joe his bitch like that. And me too. Anyways, the kid allegedly helped others steal $600,000 for a total of 1,600 users, with at least 30 of those accounts belonging to New Yorkers. Authorities got wind of the credential stuffing attack after workers at the betting site bought stolen credentials from him. Joe, a teenager was just busted for stabbing somebody on a bus.
He's a very smart kid.
He's a smart kid in prison. A knife-wielding teenager was busted for stabbing a man during a fight on the Queens bus line. Jose de los Santos, 18, allegedly knifed a 39-year-old man once in the stomach aboard the Q train, the Q bus. This is horrible. I brought you this story last week. A man and a woman got married, Joe, with their family all in attendance. They decided to go for a ride at a golf cart right after the wedding, and a drunk guy in a truck plowed into them, killing the bride. They'd been married about an hour, killing the bride, seriously injuring the husband, the groom. The South Carolina man who lost his wife in a devastating car accident hours after they were married has filed a wrongful death suit against the drunk driver, who's got no money and he's not going to pay you. But he's also suing all the bars that the drunk driver went to, saying the guy was bar hopping, and he is now suing them for tens of millions of dollars, which will not replace his beautiful wife.
Nothing replaces your wife.
16-year-old driving as passenger 14 dies. 16-year-old, I was a 16-year-old. I almost killed myself at least 10 times doing stupid stuff in a car. There's the car, and there it is smashing into the front. There's the thing, and then there's the thing. And 16-year-old driver, passenger 14 years old, dies. I probably lost 10 or 12 friends. One of my closest friends was beheaded in a horrific, horrible crash when I was in high school. So it's very triggering for me to see about these young people losing their lives. I've often thought of what would happen to my friend Andre if he would have lived. Would he have impacted? Would he have helped? Would he have had children? Would he have done something nice for people? Wild new video captures the moments a 16-year-old behind the wheel of a speeding BMW slammed into a parked UPS truck, killing a 14-year-old passenger. A party bus in Queens. You ever been on a party bus, Joe?
No, I don't party here.
Joe don't party. Not anymore. A 15-year-old girl was critically injured when she tumbled out of a moving party bus. 15 years old on a party bus in Queens. The teen, who has not been identified, fell out of the emergency exit while the bus was on Cross Island Parkway. She landed on the road and was knocked unconscious. These are a party bus with either the emergency door on the side, most of them are in the back, and if you're driving down a highway and that door pops open, you're falling out, and you're not getting up.
She survived?
She did survive, but she's critically injured, so pray that she gets the medical attention she needs. Speaking of praying, got my dear friend, I got two dear friends that can use some prayer today. We got our Arjan, who everybody loves. He's not Arjan, he's my John. Arjan is fighting the good fight. He's been in there for a couple weeks now. He's going to be there at least till Monday or Tuesday. And his mother has been there by his side every step of the way. And Arjan, we're praying that you get happy and healthy soon, my friend. As soon as he's healthy enough, Joe, I'm going to take him to Times Square. We're going to Olive Garden, and we're going to do a walk and talk with the naked cowboy. So he's got to get better. He's got to wear all the right stuff. He's got to listen to the doctors and his mom. And Joe, I was in the hospital for a couple days. I wanted to jump out the window, so I totally get it. Please put your red hearts in the air for our dear friend Arjan. I appreciate it. And our other friend, your best friend, Joe, RJ. You love RJ.
How you doing, RJ?
RJ's in the hospital. He's had surgery today.
He'll be okay, Joe.
Joe says he's going to be okay. So if Joe says he's going to be okay, that's good enough in my book. Joe's the one that's told us Kennedy would be okay. Just a scratch, he said. Don't trust Joe. But RJ, we're praying for you as well, for a full and speedy recovery. Everybody here loves you dearly, and can't wait to see you at it again. Speaking of RJ's from Colorado, Joe.
How you doing, Mr. Colorado?
One of the most despised people on the planet. He's one of the most loved people, but one of the most despised people on the planet is also from Colorado. Her name's Bobert.
Why you didn't stop that killing in that college?
Lauren Bobert. What college? Colorado?
Yeah, that's what happened. Killed for
Well,
college students.
Lauren Bobert has come to the defense of her estranged husband of 18 years, insinuating that he don't drink Bud Light. He don't drink Bud Light because they had a trans person on the can. This is homophobia at its worst. Lauren Bobert and her husband, by the way, her husband was arrested for exposing his genitals to children in the parking lot of a bowling alley. So she really don't have a lot of room to talk. She's married to a man who was convicted of sexual allegations towards young girls in a parking lot of a bowling alley. Look it up.
Yeah.
Don't believe me, just watch. So Lauren Bobert, who's a despicable person.
Disgusting.
It's not about her politics. It's about her hating everybody.
Well, I have a story.
And her son.
Yeah.
Now, she's a super Christian woman. There's no sex outside of marriage. There's no abortions. There's no this. Well, her son now is getting ready to have a baby. He's 18, not married. I'm not judging him. I hope it's a happy, healthy baby, but I'm not judging everyone else who does it too. Can't judge the whole world, and then when it happens to you, act like you didn't judge everybody. What story do you have, Joe?
Well, I was, years ago, I was sitting in a coffee house, and I seen an elder man and a young man. They came drunk. They were drunk, both of them.
Well,
They sit down. The older man tell the kid, where you live? He told him, I live on 8th Avenue. He said, I live on 8th Avenue too. What number you live on? He said 132. He said, I live in building 132 too. You tell him what? You tell him what apartment you live in. He said 25. The kid tell him, I live on 25. I never seen you here before. You know what happened?
no.
I asked a man, what's wrong with those people? He said, they after they drink a lot, they come and they start fighting, father and son. They don't know where they live.
And half the time I don't know what the hell Joe's talking about. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So you don't know it at the time. It's an older guy and a younger guy, and they start arguing about. One guy says, I live on 8th Avenue. The older guy says, so do I.
Yeah.
The kid says, I live at 132. The older guy says, so do I. What floor do you live on? The young kid says, I live on the 25th floor. The old guy says, so do I.
Same
Because I've never seen you before. Same apartment C. I've never seen you before. Why are you lying? Turns out they're father and son, but they're so drunk they don't know. They're just fighting.
Every day they come and fight. He told me the guy, they come after they drink. They sit on this.
Getting drunk and fighting with your drunk
fight where you live, where I live.
All right. Let's see. This is the new Battle of the Woke. This is obviously a transgender or just a male wearing a female bathing suit for an ad for Adidas. Of course, the GOP is up in arms, but especially because he has a huge bulge. That's a penis right there, Joe.
Where he put his banana?
His banana's right there. I'll take a photo, Joe, and I'll send you the photos. NYPD eyes lesser penalties for misconduct. Gruesome grizzly. Joe, you like grizzly bears?
Grizzly? Yeah.
What do you like better, human beings or grizzly bears?
I saw grizzly bears in Pennsylvania a couple of times.
Well, officials in Japan. I shouldn't eat cookies while I'm doing it. Sorry. Officials in Japan believe a missing fisherman was mauled to death and decapitated by a bear after a human head was discovered near the lake. He'll eat the whole body and just leave the head.
So you identify him.
That's it. I'll leave it for your family to...
He was...
My show always laughing at the most gruesome stories. I think Joe's a murderer.
That's very laughable, you know.
It's very laughable that this young man was
He
eaten to
left
death
his
by a
teeth
grizzly bear.
and his head.
And he laid his, and the bear laid the man's wallet out on a rock so that you could identify him through.
I can use your money.
Toshihiro, the bear was seen in town buying new sunglasses with the man's money. Toshihiro Nishikawa. Toshihiro Nishikawa. I like him. 54, Joe, was last seen early Sunday when a boat dropped him off at Lake Shumaneri in Hodaiku. The Kyoto News reports. The boat operator later saw a brown bear nearby with waders hanging out of his mouth. Waders are the long rubber boots that go from here all the way down. I used to wear them when hunting. When they called Nishikawa to warn him, there was no answer. Later they found his head on the damn shore. Look at this guy. He's a doctor. Faces date rape charges. Look at the guy. He looks like a... I can't. He looks like someone that would do that. A legend. Where's he from, Joe?
Dr. Faces.
He's from Colorado. Yep. Date rape charges. Colorado cardiologist was accused of sexually assaulting a woman he met on a dating app. I've never used a dating app. I'd like to try it. A dating app.
You can't have a girlfriend. Watch out.
I know. I got to be careful. I'm engaged to be married to 3 women.
They
This
can sue you.
is not a good thing. And was arrested when he showed up in court this week after 9 more alleged victims came forward. 9 more victims came forward, Joe.
The cardiologist is very one of this doctor.
Well, this one.
Usually heart.
That's heart. It's heart. It's your heart.
Heart surgeon. Very smart doctor.
Dr. Stephen Matthews, 35 years old. The whole world ahead of him.
Congratulations, Mom.
Hey, absolutely. Look at Joe.
Congratulations, Indian.
Stephen Matthews, 35, was charged in March with 3 felony counts of sexual assault for alleged date rape of a woman he met on Hinge in January. He told investigators that he and the woman had consensual sex, but she said she never gave consent and that no recollection of having sex. He dropped a pill on her. So you go out on a date, Bill Cosby brings you a drink and says, honey, you look like you could use a soda. You want a soda? You drink it? Next thing you know, you're waking up with your pants around your knees. It's horrible. Bill Cosby had over 70 charges of that. If you believe he's innocent, you're
Is
insane.
he still alive?
He is alive. He's out of prison. He was not let go. He was not found not guilty. What happened was when he pleaded guilty, Joe, he said he would admit what he did, and he did in court say, I slipped her a date.
Panty.
I slipped her a date, whatever it was called. Slipped her a knockout drug. And the district attorney said, if you do that, there'll be no prison time. Well, he did it, and the judge gave him prison time. So he was out on appeal because they can't lie to you and say there's no prison and then give you prison. So he was not found not guilty. He was found guilty as hell. And I hope he goes to prison for another 20 years. He's a rapist and a horrible person. 72 women. Now, Joe, most of these women are in their 70s and 80s now because a lot of these took place in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. He tried to do it to my dear friend Lisa. Tried to do it to Lisa, then started screaming and yelling at her. She told me about this story 25 years ago, 30 years ago.
Some of them were still acting.
Some of them were not even actors. They were doctors and lawyers and supermodels, and some were trying to be actors. And very powerful man.
Like
Rape is
Epstein.
not about sex. It's about power, like Epstein. Epstein went after young children. Naked rage at Florida gym. You're in a gym and a guy comes, or a girl, comes actually naked. I think it's probably a guy. A chaotic video captures the moments a naked man assaulted people at a Florida gym and then rampaged through the streets. The identified nudist was taking a boxing class at the UFC gym when he stripped down to naked, Joe. Have you ever fought a naked man, Joe?
I saw one online.
Have you ever wrestled a naked man, Joe? Passionately. For hours. TikTok creators to Montana. I got this in my inbox. I forgot who sent it. I apologize. 5 TikTokers, users who created content, posted up a short video. Montana is now banning TikTok. I think it's certain age groups. I'm not sure.
Montana. See,
Montana.
I don't fight people. If I fight people, you know what will happen. I'm a strong fighter.
Some migrants were rescued, Joe. Snatched migrants rescued. 49 migrants from Honduras, Haiti, Venezuela, El Salvador, Brazil, Cuba, who had been kidnapped from a commercial bus in central Mexico have now been released. Thank God.
I've been released.
Have been released.
What is going to do?
I don't know.
They're not.
Here's a new thing called the Empire Strips Back. It's all girls stripping in the Star Wars theme. I'm not hating. You guys got to see the video from last night. It was insane. So I cannot walk up to someone and go, hey, how are you? I'm filming you. I walk up and strike up a conversation. And if the conversation goes well, I say, oh my God, I'm so glad we met and they're loving me. I say, can I film this? And they say, oh yeah, get your phone out. So a lot of times I don't feel comfortable doing that. So I was a whole lot of stuff like Gronkowski. I couldn't get him away from me. By the way, strikingly handsome. The guy's 6'6" and 280 pounds of solid muscle. It was insane. He was just like, holy shit. Joe, missing New Jersey mom found dead. I covered this story when she was just missing. A New Jersey mom of 2 has been found dead on the side of the highway after she was reported missing on Mother's Day. The body of Norelis Mendoza, 32, was discovered Wednesday morning off Route 440 near the New Jersey City-Bayonne border. 4 days after she went missing, Mendoza was last seen leaving her mother's home. She has children ages 1 and 3. Who did it, Joe?
Probably her husband. Probably.
Joe goes right to the husband every time, and he's almost always right.
But this is terrible to leave those kids.
Well,
babies.
listen to this. Mendoza's family suspect she was a victim of domestic violence and that the father of her children, ages 1 and 3, may be involved.
Yes.
The good news is, bro, when it is the father or the husband, the police are looking at everything. His text messages, his Google searches, his girlfriend, his friends.
Drug gangs.
Or drug gangs.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, war.
I don't know where that came from. All right.
You know I'm smart.
You're very smart. Sister backs Cash App killer. The Cash App killer, Joe. I haven't read the story yet, but I think that's the ones who were killing everybody in our neighborhood at the gay bars. They got at least 3 that we know of. Nope. They were draining the Cash App. They were getting them. They meet them at the gay bar. They slip them a drug rate. They end up
they drain their
using the thumbprint
their accounts
to open their thing, and they drain their accounts. And anyways, this guy is. They got 3 of them so far, with more to come. All right, drunk driver kills mom and 2 kids. A drunk driver kills a mother and 2 kids. This drunk driver should be killed himself. Am I right, Joe?
should be
well
before firing squad.
Listen to this, Joe. He has a history of drunk driving.
How could the
man
investigate his
guys?
driver?
I'm very. I don't drink. Very sorry to say, I got a drunk driving in 1981. The police officer Arthur Koch, who arrested me, I was actually getting a blowjob driving, and I was swerving. It was a 20-year-old kid, a badass shorty in my car, and I was drunk. Not drunk. I drank 2 or 3 beers. I don't drink. All my friends know. Joe, you've seen me drink one time, and that was when Fernando got me drunk on the show. I haven't had a drink since. I don't drink. I was hitting a couple lines, and anyways, the guy who ended up arresting me was murdered. The officer was murdered by a no-legged Vietnam vet named Stanley Verkitis, who shot and killed that officer not long after I was arrested for a drunk driving. Drunk driving was 0.1, 1.0. I was 0.9, but was still arrested. Anyways, I would never do that to anyone else. Dr. Phil says it all the time. What gives you the right to get drunk and have a 3,000-pound bomb between your legs where you just go and kill someone? This man had a history of drunk driving. He should go to prison forever. Allegedly killed a mother of 3, injuring 2 of her children when he drove into oncoming traffic on a California highway. Jose Vargas, 41, has been charged with felony DUI and murder for the wrong way crash May 11th, which killed Lisette Villasenor, 36, her daughter Ashley, 12, and son Daniel, 6. So it did kill the mother and 2 kids, and seriously injured 2 others. I don't care. Joe, do you really care about the Clintons? The guy's the president of the United States getting blowjobs in the damn White House. Shots fired in McDonald's, Joe. Shots fired in McDonald's. Why do you suppose they were shots fired in McDonald's?
Which one?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. A 15-year-old boy allegedly opened fire on a McDonald's employee during a robbery attempt in Florida. Every story is about Florida.
Boy, you're not gonna survive it.
Demarion Wilson of Millbury approached the fast food worker around 1:30 a.m. outside the eatery, brandished a 9mm Glock he stole from his stepfather. The stepfather should also be charged because these guns should be in safes.
Yeah.
If you have a gun laying around and someone steals it, you should be charged with a crime, in my opinion. When the store manager pulled up, an employee pleaded for help. Wilson allegedly fired 3 times, and one of the bullets striking the vehicle before he ran off. No one was injured, thank God.
Well, he attempted murder.
Attempted murder. Look at this, Joe. There's a teacher. A Long Island dance teacher got busted with XXX You know, triple X, Joe, that's porn. I've never seen porn, but I've heard of it. I heard it exists. I don't. A Long Island dance teacher was busted for allegedly having sexual video chats with 2 teenager students and sending indecent material to minors. Don't do it, bro. Jordan Viscomi, 30, an instructor at David Sanders, not anymore, dance studio in Oakdale, befriended a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old girl at the studio. He allegedly lured them into exchanging video calls and texts and sexual content over a 3-day period. You're going to have a lot of fun in prison. Joe, I think it's about time.
All right.
How is everybody? How was your vacation, everybody?
All right.
Joe, how was your vacation?
Okay. How are you, Mr. Alfred?
Mr. Alfred.
Bruce, how is everything?
I would love to be inside Joe's brain for about 6 minutes. That's all I
Did
did.
you have a nice weekend?
It's not the weekend till tomorrow. Last weekend. Did I have a nice weekend a month ago?
Yeah.
Yes, I did, Joe. Thank you for asking about a vacation I had a month ago. Don't forget this weekend, guys, we're giving away watches. Everybody gets a watch. You get a watch, and you get a watch, and you get a watch. We're going to spin the wheel. I'm going to say you guys are going to say the color.
How you doing?
4
Mr.
people say blue, and it lands on blue, then those 4 people are still in the running. If some people say it's pink, they're in the running. We're going to spin it again. It all comes down to Rev. If you've got a connection with Rev, Rev's got your back.
How you doing?
We're going to figure it out. I'm going to give away at least 5 watches, maybe 10. I also want to give away the copper tone, the three dial one. I want David Young to win that one.
How you doing, David?
I'm going to rig this contest so that David Young wins the 3 dial copper tone, because David Young's fly like that. All right, you ready, Joe? I'm only doing 3. I got to go to Hard Rock here in a few minutes.
How you doing, Rob?
Click, 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 click. It is Gemini, Joe. We don't do enough Geminis on this show, do we? One more. Click, 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 click. It's Gemini again. You can't do 2 Geminis, Joe. Click, 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 click. It's Virgo. Gemini and Virgo. Click, click. I'm hollering at a Virgo right now. Click, click, click.
How you doing?
Click, 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 click. What is with Gemini? What's your problem? I got 5 Gemini here. This guy's walking around with a turtle.
How you doing, Turtle Man?
Hi, turtle man. And click, 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 click. You better not be Gemini.
Scorpio?
It's Gemini. Again, I'm not doing it anymore. I gave you guys a chance. It's 3 or 4 Geminis. What the hell? I'm going to do the let Boogie Bob decide here. Ready? Click, 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 click. Oh my God. Gemini. I quit. I can't.
Okay.
I can't. Joe, I want you to read Gemini twice.
How is everything?
How was your vacation, Gemini? Joe's going to spin it. Joe's spinning it, and it is stopping on... Oh, it went right past Cancer.
Cancer.
It went right past Gemini. Just barely past Gemini. I got 19 Geminis. I think this shit is rigged. I quit. I'm out. So can I please eat some cookies and you leave me alone for 5
How
minutes?
is your cookies?
I don't know. I buy cookies and you feed the damn pigeons my cookies. What's your problem?
Eat cookie. We have Gemini.
9 times. We got Gemini 9 times.
You may get something for free today
There's nothing free.
that you thought would cost you dear, but there is no need to worry that you might have to pay even more for it.
That sounds like a blowjob. I'm almost positive.
On the occasions, the universe wants to be generous.
That's blowjob. 100%.
Maybe because you have earned it.
It's blowjob.
Cancer.
100%. Joe, you're being pretty dirty on that one.
Cancer.
I don't know. What was that first one you read, Joe? That was Gemini. No wonder Gemini Gemini's getting blowjobs.
Cancer.
Or giving. Or giving.
New moon in your friendship area of your chart will
Friendship.
encourage you to open up to colleagues and loved ones
That is not blowjobs. It's the
and
opposite.
let them know what you need. Once they have the information, it will only be a matter of time before they get for you.
That didn't even make sense. Before they get for you? It's not even English, Joe.
You get it for you, right?
You left out the word for.
Virgo. You may have to revise some of your plans today as new information comes to light that changes the rules of the game.
I've got
The
pigeons
good
protecting.
news is those rules will benefit you in profitable ways. Whatever side you are on, it will be the winning side. Good luck to you.
I got pigeons here.
How you doing?
I don't know what the pigeons are doing. Joe, did you do birthdays? When me and Joe were growing up in Bethlehem, we didn't know that we would be sitting here in New York feeding pigeons. Cookies.
On
Ow. this day, Nellie Melba was born. That's nobody. That's a fake name, Joe. That's fake news.
She was the great soprano at the time.
Soprano. Okay. Millie Maybach. Maybach music. Ow.
Nancy Astor.
It's one of the very rich people that helped create New York. Look at these
British.
damn pigeons.
She was a British first woman. She was in the House of Commons.
Okay. Why is your list so shitty, Joe? I don't care about those
She
people.
was voted to the House of Commons.
Wow! No kidding.
This man, you know who is he?
I don't know. I don't know one
you
name. You hate
you
me.
lived in his country.
Turkey. It's Ataturk.
Mustafa Kemal Atatürk.
Ataturk was the founding father of Turkey.
Modern
He was so revered and loved. Yeah, what was Turkey called before Turkey, Joe?
Ottoman Empire. Osman Empire.
I thought it was like Mesopotamia, something like that.
Mesopotamia is Iraq.
Iraq.
Oh, this guy, he scared your father.
This
His
guy scared
name-
my father. It must have been somebody in Vietnam.
And 500,000 others.
Kim Paul Cook.
Ho Chi Minh.
Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh was the leader of the Northern Army of
North
in,
Vietnam.
North Vietnam. Had tens of millions of dead bodies under his regime. What else you got, Joe? Because so far your list is shit.
American woman, her name was
I quit.
Florence Chadwick.
I quit.
She swims the British Channel, the English Channel, back and forth. She was the first person in history to do that,
I don't buy it.
to swim the channel
Yeah.
back and forth.
That's a pretty big accomplishment.
Malcolm X was born on this day.
Malcolm X was it's the very first book I ever read. The autobiography of Malcolm X. I think it was written by Haley. Anyways, Alex Haley, who wrote Roots. Malcolm X was born in Detroit. It's called Detroit Red. He was a con man. He was a crook. He was a numbers runner. He got arrested, Joe. He was a coke, heroin user, a pimper, and a panderer of women. He got arrested and he went to prison, Joe. When he was in prison, he met someone who turned him on to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He ended up reading, voraciously reading.
Yeah.
This was a man who was out in the streets his whole life, Joe. He would throw his mama down the stairs for a nickel. He didn't care. He self-proclaimed. Now he is reading about self and where he came from and his true value as a human being, and how he had his religion, his name, his heritage all stolen from him. And he ended up becoming a mouthpiece for the Nation of Islam. After getting out of prison, Joe, his life was committed to recruiting black men and women into the Nation of Islam to teach them self-righteousness and value. He ended up, Joe, becoming so big, he actually became bigger, more popular with the media than Elijah Muhammad himself. When Robert Kennedy was murdered, Malcolm X said this is a case of the chickens coming home to roost. Of course, the nation was hurting because John F. Kennedy had been murdered, and now a baby brother, Robert Kennedy, when he announced that he was running for president, was also murdered and shot and killed by Sirhan Sirhan. So he said this is the case of the chickens coming home to roost, which was a really horrible thing to say at a time like this. So he was ostracized, not just by every human being in America, every white human being in America, but he was cast out from the Nation of Islam because it was so outrageous even for them to say something when a senator was murdered, and for you to say something so callous. He was cast out, Joe. Then he had death threats. He was represented Harlem. He lived up in Harlem. He ended up going on a pilgrimage to Mecca, Joe. They say all Muslims must go to Mecca at some point in their life. Where's Mecca, Joe?
Saudi Arabia.
It's in Saudi Arabia. When he got to Mecca, he opened his eyes for the first time, his words, where he got there, Joe, and he was surprised to see Muslims of every race, white, black, Asian, Russian, Indian, Muslims of all types. And they all had one thing in common, their love for God and for people and for the Quran and the teachings. And he realized then that maybe the Elijah Muhammad, who had affairs, who had money scandals, wasn't really the prophet that he thought he was. So he came back to America and he started to open his own chapter. And he said he would be talking about real Muslims and real teachings of the Quran, not the twisted version, in his words, of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He then gave a speech. At one of his speeches, he was shot and killed by people in the crowd. Anyways, I went on for a long time because I have a lot of respect as a person. I don't know him, but as a guy who stood up to the machine, much like when Muhammad Ali stood up to the American government because he didn't want to have a quarrel with no Viet Cong. Malcolm X will be known forever as a man who walked it like he talked it, whether you agree with him or not. I'm not trying to. I wouldn't have known any of this other than I read his book and I followed him since then. Shout out to Betty Shabazz, who we lost a few years back. What else you got, Joe?
We have Dolph Shies.
Who?
Dolph Shies.
Who?
Baseball. Yeah. Is that right? Dolph Shies?
Dolph Shies. Dolph Shays. Never heard of him, but I know who one person has. Ambrose probably knows who he is. I couldn't help it.
How you doing, Andrew? How are you doing?
What else you got, Joe?
The great novelist was born on this day, Nora Ephron. You heard about her?
Nora Ephron? I thought she was a singer. I didn't know she was.
He said about your...
I can't read that. I got 9 pigeons on my arm.
What he said about Chinese.
I don't know. I got 9 pigeons sitting here pecking away at me, Joe.
Okay.
I always feel guilty because Let's see if he can reach up here and get it. Brother, if you want this one, you're going to have to reach up and get it. He's eyeballing it. He's eyeballing it. If you want this, you got to come get it. Here he comes. You better quit pecking him. Stop pecking him.
Rub it on the table.
Nope. He wants it, he's going to come get it. All right, Joe, what else you got?
Okay, she wrote the Ephraim. She's Laura Ephraim.
Murder, she wrote. Our
She
show
wrote
went to hell, Joe.
When Harry met Sally.
Yeah, that's not a British novelist. When Harry Met Sally was a movie about Billy Crystal and what's-her-face.
Who is Pete Townshend?
Townsend.
Yeah.
Pete Townsend is the amazing guitarist
Yeah.
for The Who. I mean, Joe, do you remember when I go, who are you? Who? I really want to know. Pete Townsend was the one out there. Dun, dun, dun.
Townsend.
Pete Townsend. What else you got, Joe? What, you falling asleep?
On the death side.
How about my career? My channel.
Okay. T.E. Lawrence. Who is T.E. Lawrence?
Yeah, piece of shit. I don't know who that is.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Really? T.E. Lawrence is Lawrence of Arabia? Okay, you learn stuff on my show.
That's the guy who made the war against the Ottoman Empire. He actually made an Arab army.
All right.
And he defeated the Ottoman Empire.
Joe's dropping all these names I never heard of.
Who is Roland Coleman?
Someone I never heard of.
He's an actor in the Lost Horizon, if you remember.
Lost Horizon.
Jacqueline Kennedy was, he died on this day.
I've heard of her. What do you know about her, Joe?
The president of Kennedy. Then after
She was the president of Kennedy.
But after his death, she married Onassis.
That is correct. Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, as she was known. First married John F. Kennedy. She was in the car. She had braids splattered all over her beautiful fuchsia pink outfit. Just horrible. This is my new pigeon, Jim. Hi, Jim.
I heard now they are looking again for that assassination of John Kennedy.
Well,
I heard it yesterday.
I don't believe in all the conspiracies. Some conspiracies are true. I believe Lee Harvey Oswald shot him. Jack Ruby ended up killing Lee Harvey Oswald. Simple. Joe.
But who gave him the order? I don't know.
Why do you have to give orders? No one gave me an order to eat this cookie.
You can do it.
I didn't eat the cookie. Joe, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, after the horrific murder of her husband, ended up marrying Aristotle Onassis, one of the richest men in the world, a shipping magnate and a tycoon.
Yeah. I met his daughter.
Ended up moving to New York City, Joe, where she became a fashion icon, as well as she really made a difference in people's lives, Joe.
Yeah.
The reservoir in Central Park is named after her. The big, huge body of water in Central Park. She was instrumental in getting Grand Central Terminal up and running again, the whole restoration. She helped homeless people. She helped elderly. She did a lot with her life, and I'm very, very proud of her as a former First Lady to dedicate her life, all of her life.
Do you believe that her son was working in this building? Who was
John F.
killed
Kennedy
in the
Jr.?
aeroplane?
JFK Jr.?
He worked here, right here in this
I did not know that. He had the magazine. He had the magazine.
He used to sit right in this spot.
Oh, the ladies loved him.
You can find out by Googling.
I Googled it.
He lived right here in this building. He worked.
He had a
He
magazine.
used to come to this spot and sit down, maybe have a sandwich or yeah.
All right.
Okay, and there is the last one is a British
you, God.
singer. His name is Mike Summers.
Mike
British
Summers,
singer.
British singer. Ambrose, I need you. It's a British singer. I need Ambrose immediately.
Mike, Sammes.
Summers, Mike Summers. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I usually like to dilly-dally and hang out here, but I have to run because I'm going to Hard Rock to deliver this backpack to an amazing young man who didn't have one. Got one now. Mike Summers, singer.
Yep.
Easy listening. That's why I don't know. Singer Disneyland, The Beatles.
Oh,
I Am the Walrus. Cuckoo Kichu.
big name.
Very big name, Joe. Very big name that no one ever heard of, Joe. I want to thank everybody
How you doing?
for tuning in. Carrie, God bless you. Thank you. I'm so forward looking for my Mac Dre. Treaton, God bless you. Sugar Bay, Jane Doe, Jordan Joe. I'm not thanking Joe today. No, I'm not thanking Joe. Kevin Butler. There he is, everybody. It's our good friend Arjan.
How you doing, John?
Arjan's the kid you were praying for earlier, Joe.
Yes, John, you'll be okay.
You'll be okay. If Joe says you're going to be okay, you'll be okay. Mr. Bot, where's Mr. Bot from, Joe?
Bob from California.
Mr. Bot,
Bob is at Norway.
he's from Norway. Joe knows. Where's Reverend from, Joe?
Reverend from Florida.
My boy. Tammany, God bless you, sweetheart. You are the best. Colleen, I love you. I already know. I want to thank everybody. Don't look at the watch today, Colleen. Don't look at it. I just don't want you to listen at it. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I have done some really amazing videos the last week or so. We're going to do some more. I told you once I hit 1,000, I would start doing some great stuff. I'm getting ready to take my shirt off right now. So, Joe, I want you to hold the camera. I want to show everybody my naked body. I love you all very much.